Hi everyone, this is your Filipino page and good morning from here. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so today we're gonna continue with my sexy talk series. This has been a bone of contention of a lot of modern women, excuse me, because they think of gender equality as in total equality with men. It's like a gender battle already, but it's actually different. We are equal, yes, in the sense of as individuals, we have our own, we have our rights. You're equal in the sense also of that you do your role as a man, and I'm doing my role as a woman. Equal. That's equality. That's how we understand in the Philippines actually. So there's no question, there was no any issue about that. There is never a battle against sexes and gender for that matter. I've observed that casual sex, sleeping around, is a trend mostly in modern times, especially in the West. Because, yeah, I am not saying that in the Philippines it's not done right now. There are, but it's still very different because if women do that, people will really frown on her and do the gossip thing. You'll be the talk of the town the next morning. You will be branded with this and that. Then your family will know. Oh my gosh, some families will really disown you. Yeah, to be honest. So most of Filipinas who do that make it really in deep secret. Even they don't tell to friends, they don't tell to anyone, they keep it to themselves because I know they will be like their conscience will be like bugging them all the time. Well, of course, if it's continued practice, it will be like persisting. They're on their morals. By the way, the morals, because morality is based on culture, so it will be diminishing after some time. So yeah, but it's just few percentage of Filipinas who do that. Actually, to be honest, it's just a question because I don't know why they keep on fighting about this sleeping around thing. Because men, naturally, biologically, they are hunters. It's normal and natural for them to sleep around because they're men. You cannot say that men do that, it should be equal. I, as a woman, should do that. It's the modern times, it's the 21st century, it's the millennial times, blah 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 blah. No, it's your right, yes. It's your cause, it's your fight and battle cry that you do like that. Feminism is everywhere right now, especially in the West. But that doesn't mean that feminism should do the same thing as men, even beyond the natural way. I am not against you, okay? Those feminist groups, they're for me as a woman. It doesn't mean that I would allow myself to be oppressed. I would allow myself to be exploited. So my feminism side of me is when, for example, you're being abused, physically abused. Yeah, that there goes. You have to fight for your right, for your life. That's how, me personally, I understand that my feminism should come in as an individual, as a human, not because as a gender or as a sex. For example, also, when you are not given the equal opportunity in jobs or in positions, in ranks, of course, you have to undergo the process. But if you know that you are capable and you deserve that position, yes. But don't use that position and that opportunity to abuse others, especially men. Many modern women right now is saying like, now surely it's all about men. Why can't I do that? Why can't I do it too? Why can't I sleep around too? Because men are doing it. We should be equal. That doesn't include in the feminism nature or your fight as a woman. No, I don't agree on that point. I'm not saying that all men are good, okay, and all women are good. we are still individuals, and there are total losers out there, men, women. Yes, there are losers out there, total losers. Let's talk about like men, for example. Yes, there are men who are really irresponsible, who are really abusive, there who are really taking advantage of women. So let's set aside that. Even, vice versa. There's women who are like that too. Okay, let's just stick to the facts and reality. Okay, I'm not against a person. I'm not against of anyone. Like, putting him down or blah blah blah, or talking bad about him, for example. But I'm saying that I have experience really, and I don't blame him, or I don't blame the man, because it is my decision. I was part of that decision. He cannot force me to, to accept him as my boyfriend or as my husband, and then I will blame him because he abused me. No, because first and foremost, that's why there's courting stage, talking stage, to get to know. And that's my mistake, because I jumped into the waters right away without really establishing a good foundation, without getting to know each other very well, if we are compatible, if he is responsible, if I am responsible, if I can take this one, if I can adjust to this one, things like that. This doesn't mean that we should pull the morality card and tell men that they should have better morals than us. I'm not telling that. I'm not also saying that I'm a good woman, I'm a perfect woman, or you are bad, I'm good. No, okay. We are totally different creatures, men and women. But please take note that they do not have the womb women do. And that's our number one responsibility. And that we should be accountable if we get early pregnancy, if you had some venereal diseases later on because you sleep around with different men. Maybe in one day I've heard really, and I was really shocked. Like one day, she got, I just can't remember the name, and but it's in the, I think, YouTube or TikTok, or I don't know. Sorry, but this is legit, really, really, really legit. That I don't know if it's really fact that she was saying, or just for, I don't know, really. But the point is, whether it's true or not, but it's really happening, that some women sleep around in one day or in one night 10 10 different men, and that's really lowering your value as a woman. So, well, aside from those sex workers, of course it's their job to do that, but I mean, the normal regular woman shouldn't do that. Men sleep around because they do not have the womb. You do. As a woman, you're the woman. How you feel with this no strings attached sex is different than how he may feel, and you cannot change that. It's natural, it's nature, it's biology. You cannot fight against nature. Okay, you have the power to change it probably, but in a good way. But other than deviating to the moral standards of your society, or you're just being for yourself, I don't agree. We have to stick to that. Other things, yes, we can improve, we can modify, we can change a bit for the betterment, not to worsen our status. As we have to take responsibility to that, because we have the womb. Unless you are really sexually assaulted, raped, harassed, or whatnot, then it's not your fault. But just the regular, just sleeping around and stuff like that, you don't let men take that responsibility. It's your responsibility. You can always say no, you can always refuse. The only time that we can come close to doing is we should establish emotional connection and emotional attraction with him. That is your first step towards a good relationship, love relationship. And correct me if I'm wrong, I could see that some modern women right now, they think that if they had a lot of men that they slept around with, it's like making their value increased, or they feel that I'm beautiful, I have so many so many men likes me. Normally, of course, men would always like you because of the bed. Because that's their biology. Men, they have to release, otherwise they get sick, because it is painful for them. They have to release it, whether they like it or not. They have to release it. But women, no, we are a species that is naturally positioned to just wait. Our biology, we don't have this urge like them that they need to release. No, we don't have that natural need to release. It's like, breastfeeding. Just like as we are breastfeeding, we have to release it, otherwise it's painful. But the difference is we can stop it, because later on, as your baby is not feeding on you, it will just naturally stop. But for men, no. Until they grow old, until they really have to release it. That's what you should understand. And you cannot change that. You cannot. We have to understand that we as women simply risk paying a price for having sex without enough, big time emotional attachment and attraction and established commitment. And in Filipino culture, actually, that's why our courting stage is really lengthy, long period, especially in the old times. My gosh, sometimes it would take almost a year or even years, really, that men are waiting for the yes of the woman that he likes. And it's not really yes like, proposal, wedding proposal, but yes, that okay, I accept you as my boyfriend. Sometimes men give up there, because we call this pakipot. Even women like the man there, the Filipino will like a man there, they will still have to hold on, because it's a culture. Because when you rush things, you don't take enough time, you as a woman will take much more risk than men. That's how we are taught, that's how we understand. And it's also one way for you as a woman there to test a man if he is really serious with you, if he's really into you, if he's really going into the next level, or has a future plans for you to commit to you until marriage, until the end of time. If everything is rushed, it's a shortcut. You are just risking yourself being ghosted and being abandoned by him eventually. 95%, actually. We always have this thing that, oh, she's a cheap girl or an easy girl. When you do like that, in the Philippines, sorry, people will brand you. You're a cheap girl. You're an easy girl to get. And men do gossip and think and talk about that, especially, sexual topics. Filipinos there, that's why it's one. I'm not against Filipino men, okay, but this is just reality. I'm just stating facts here, logic and reason, okay? Don't get me wrong. Now, most Filipino men there, they have this culture of image that to be a macho, and it's a thing there that, having mistresses, having multiple girlfriends, and that's usually the reason of separation in the Philippines. Not about money, not about, well, there are, but I'm speaking of, by majority. It's not about other things, but mostly it's about infidelity, having mistresses. Yes, other Filipinos do that too, having other men. And that's against our law. Adultery and concubinage for women. But mind you, you cannot just simply go to the court and say, okay, I will file an annulment, or I will sue him because I saw him with a woman. But you have to prove it with surmountable evidences and witnesses. So it's not easy. One of the proofs that you must present in the court is you have to catch your husband or your wife doing that sexual act, really, as in, aside from the other evidences like text messages, photos, first-hand witnesses, videos, for example. Instead of sleeping around, if you really want a man to respect you and you to have a higher value, you have to focus on building a connection, attraction. And how? And do your natural role. Men basically is very simple because all they want is just appreciation, your tender loving care. You're doing your role as a woman, feminine woman, of your homey duties, your wifey duties. That's it. And automatically he will do his part. Respect him. That's number one. Recognize him as the leader of the home, always. Everything has its cost. And even if you have all the money in the world, you can buy new clothes, your 6 wardrobe cabinet is filled with branded signature clothes. Still, it will take you a cost of time. Why do I say that? Because, yeah, you have to think, you open your wardrobe, you have to think, oh, what would I wear? Okay, or to put all your clothes there after washing. It's a cost of time. What is my analogy there? Why do I have this comparison? Because if you sleep around, it's a shortcut. Then you don't have the time to know him better, to establish the connection, to establish a commitment, love commitment. If we have less options, not less options that not too much men is pursuing you, but I mean less options in the sense of, sleeping around. You should have less options when it comes to sex and sleeping around, because it is you as a woman who is at stake here, more at stake. Your reputation, your dignity, your value as a woman. And this is one way of men gauging you if they will be serious with you or not. Not sleeping around has a cost. And that cost makes you expensive, a high value woman. Not the monetary thing that I'm saying, okay? I mean, your value as a woman means you are not a cheap girl. We have to always choose what we do carefully. Carefully. Especially when it comes to sex and relationships. We always have to go for love, commitment, loyalty. All the time as women. Because our bodies are not designed like men. Our bodies are not designed to have copulation with men for our egos and for the fun of it. No. We have to realize the possible outcomes of our actions, such as this casual sex as a woman. I don't agree with women who say, oh, he abandoned me, he ghosted me, he is this stupid, he is an idiot, he is like this, and blah, blah, blah. You're blaming the man. You have the womb. He doesn't. It's your body. Yes, it's your choice. But make the right choice, because there are really more riskier and bad consequences and outcomes for you as a woman if you have this sleeping around habit. Whatever you do, if you allow yourself all the way, that's not men's fault. It's your fault as a woman. That is actually what your body, your choice means for me, okay?